it's time to pique my brain, huh? So today we have Resident Evil Mercenaries tier list rankings, and I previously did one on Resident Evil 4. I also did one on Resident Evil 5, but I never did one on Resident Evil 6. So I'm gonna just pique my brain and sort of see what I remember. We have the D tier, which is the lowest, and the S tier, which is the highest tiered character based on memory alone. So I might forget some stuff, but I think this way is the perfect way to do it. I'm gonna start off with Ada Wong. You know, her base outfit, and not counting, I don't know if the other EX outfits are counted. Yes, they are. I see them. But base Ada Wong, she has the ammo box to my memory. I'm trying to figure out what else she has, but I just know it was the ammo box and the crossbow. And the ammo box is one of the worst machine pistols in the entirety of RE6. It is a lousy weapon in terms of damage, and just trying to, you know, get some sort of successful kills off of them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's really good for just setting up the front and center melee, which you'll be doing a lot, where Ada stuns the enemy's head, and then she does like this sort of I think it's a Hurricane Rana, I forget, it's been a long time, but I know her and Carla, they have the same sort of movesets in terms of coup de grace and the melees that they have and everything else. And Ada's melee, you're mostly going to be focusing on the head. Everything else is just, you know, kind of meh with her, but this is her worst loadout by far. And if I were to place her EX costume somewhere, I would say that's a C. I think she gets a much better loadout that way. I'm trying to remember if she gets a sniper rifle or whatever, but I know this outfit is definitely infinitely better than her original incarnation in Mercenaries for RE6. So, you know, I'm going to put Carla at the top. Carla's good because she's like so basic, but it all works out to her benefit. Like, the reason why she's S tier is because she has a handgun that perfectly sets up for, you know, doing strings on people, whether it's doing the combo grab or whatever, doing the Hurricane Rana and shit like that. It's just a straightforward gun that perfectly stuns the zombies and Juava when you need it. So you can just run up and just do a fucking grab maneuver, and it's automatically over with some enemies, and it adds to the timer. Like, the thing about Mercenaries is you want to kill fast, kill quick, and kill efficiently. And the same sort of applies for RE6, but it's all about like just stunning and getting all those pristine grapples. And of course, since they added the parry system to Resident Evil 6, you're going to be parrying and like delving into your skills a little bit as well. So it's a little bit of a deeper kit with this game. But Carla has the pistol, and the pistol is universally good for setting up enemies to be grabbed, stunned, and knocked out, and getting seconds to your timer, and that's really good. She also has a grenade launcher to my memory. You can pick up like ammo across the map, and that has like, you know, grenade rounds or freeze rounds or things of that nature. That's very versatile for bigger enemies, so they can be frozen and just completely shattered. And it's really good for bosses like spawning on the map and getting rid of them as soon as possible, as well as crowd control with the acid while burning the enemies alive. Carla is just 100% fantastic all-around character, and her moves just will accommodate the constant Hurricane Ranas that you will be doing in this game. So who is next? Racer Piers. He's definitely not A tier. Definitely not S, because he has, I think he also runs around with the stupid submachine gun that really doesn't do a lot of damage. I think though this Piers has a better sniper rifle, more faster and efficient than the base periods where you have to constantly like reload, but you could do the roll cancel and get out of that. He's all around okay, you know what I mean? A little bit slightly above average, I would say, for racer peers. You're mainly gonna be wanting to do his neck breaker, which, I mean, neck breaker, and he has like close range and long range. So racer peers, in my experience at least, was not really too bad to play with, but he doesn't have a very solid loadout for, I would say, killing bosses or anything like that, because he's regulated to the sniper and stuff like that, and also his primary machine gun is not that great. I also think he has a shotgun, but I correct me if wrong. I just remember that he's well-rounded, but not good like a Carla, or not good like a baseline Chris Redfield for his main outfit. And speaking of Chris, I'm gonna put this man on S tier, and the reason why is because Chris Redfield has a solid loadout, and when you pair it with like stuff like Target Master that completely disintegrates the enemies, it's super good. It's super efficient. Like you could just melt the enemies no problem with your machine gun, and it just adds that extra oomph to the experience. Also, like, the Desert Eagle is not really that bad. You could like knock out a boss enemy or a sub boss in like a few shots, so that's pretty great in my opinion. I also am glad that even when you run out of ammo, Chris Redfield has the machete, so he can sneak up behind people and slit their neck or whatever. Or you could do the wait for counter and stab an enemy and get a quick stun, you know what I mean, once you do the parry and everything. Redfield is really good. He could toss enemies around like a piece of cabbage, right? So that is good for crowd control when he does his long sort of throw, but it does waste time. It's not the ideal melee I would use for Chris. I just like his power punch to deal with enemies, and I know that's like a coup de grace once you do it. However, that being said, you know what I mean, it's just a shorter window. Whether that or the neck breaker is really good for Chris in order to stun an enemy, kill them, and just do that in ample amount of time. So I would say that the normal Chris up here is S tier, because he just has methods of killing the bosses, his guns are solid, and his melee options are really good. So who is next? We have the Samurai Chris. So if I remember correctly, that is the one that comes with the handgun, rocket launcher. I think he has a shotgun. I always think these people have shotguns. I don't know. This shit's just funny. Every motherfucker has a shotgun, right? I would put him in the same category as Racer Piers. He only has one rocket to my knowledge. Like if he had two, that'd be pretty great. Like I think Josh or whatever had two RPGs in RE5, but he only has one. Samurai Chris only has one, so it puts him as a it basically puts him at a slight disadvantage because of that. He can only kill one sub boss that comes out, and as you know, in Resident Evil 6 there's multiple bosses that will spawn sometimes depending on what you do. The Augermen, they will spawn on the map no problem, and they will come to fuck your day up, which is quite entertaining. But still, that one rocket will be gone later on in the match, and then you have to deal with the pistol, which is all around good, and then you have the shotgun. But I wouldn't put that version of Chris above. You know what, maybe I would bump him up a little bit to A tier. I think that makes better sense, because now when I put it into perspective, I think he is better than peers, or at least equal. I don't know, is he going A? No, I think he's equal to peers. I think he's equal. I just had a little bit of a brain tussle deciding, but all around he's good for mid-range with the shotgun, and then he has the pistol, and then the one boss killer, but his loadout is not strong enough to put him in A tier. It's just not. It's not that versatile compared to the two S tier members. Let's see if I could pull an A rank here. Let me look around. I would personally say no, that's not an A rank. Okay, I'm gonna dash that guy. Agents, where would I put him? I'm gonna honestly put him on B tier, and will he be in B tier? Am I having second thoughts? Am I really? Okay, so what he has is the handgun and the magnum and the knife, from what I remember. And if you're surrounded and you have no ammo, the knife is good for quick sort of melee stuns and getting those grabs and throws in to add to the timer. So that is good, coupled with the pistol. And from what I remember, the agent has Pierce's like melees, which are decent. The front one takes a little bit of time off of the clock, so he does the whirlwind throw, so to speak. So I remember that. And the uppercut, that's fast, that's really quickly. So but the problem is, outside of just having the magnum, I can't say he's that great, but it is a boss killer. So technically speaking, he is better than Racer Pierce. So that's my answer. That's my answer. That's my solution. That's my motherfucking solution, baby, to picking my first A rank character, where he's absolutely good in the right hands. If you know how to use him, he's great. He can kill bosses, that's great, you know, all around a good character, fundamental to explore. But it's just the fact that his kit is not, you know what I mean, out of this world crazy in terms of what he could do to people when paired with skills, you know what I mean. I think Chris is just better with Target Master, and he melts stuff no problem. And I think Carla is a lot more straightforward, and the grenade launcher just does a lot more to multiple targets outside of Agent just having like a magnum that affects probably like one enemy, maybe 2 zombies get knocked down, but that's it. And you won't be using it for that, so he could have more boss killers that would help him, and he doesn't really have a lot of like crowd control options. So what do we have next? Oh, Eminem Jake. Eminem Jake. Hi, my name is Jake Mueller. Where do we put him? If I remember correctly, he does have a knife. And is that his starting weapon? I have no fucking idea. I just know he has that knife. I think he has... Does he have the hands? Because remember, Jake is the one where he has the martial arts moves, but this one, I think, doesn't. It's been quite a while, but I remember not being too much of a fan. I think he has the sniper rifle as well, if I'm not too mistaken. Once again, correct me in the comments. I just remember he was definitely weaker than default Jake. That is without question. He is not as good as default Jake. He has the melee toolkit. He still has, you know, you can do DDTs and power bombs and German suplexes, but for some reason he's not that good. You know what I mean? And I would say he's comparable to EX Ada in that regard. He's not the worst character in the game, which is definitely by a landslide the bitch in the red dress, or the red shirt in this case, due to the red shirts are coming in this case due to how Ada's toolkit for her default is completely useless. But they just decided to give Jake this mainline knife and some other shit, and it didn't really make any sense. And you know, while you'll be getting the long range targets in, he's just not as versatile as the other characters. So I would say he's C at best. You can make him work, but not better than the default Jake, which goes up on what I would say A tier. He has the handgun, he has the elephant killer, which is the giant elephant killing magnum that can put Dumbo down no problem. And then he has the fist, which can do all crazy martial arts shenanigans that adds to his versatility. You can run all over the map and do the somersault kicks to people really quickly, fast, heavy stuns. You will be doing a lot of stunning with this character, handgun and all. And the elephant killer is really good for killing bosses, but once again, it doesn't do like super crazy splash damage. So he's not S tier because of it, like even when paired with like some attributes and abilities that you get in the skill store. Although Jake's melee is pretty fast, pretty great. Again, you know, channeling those Wesker axe kicks and everything like that, and getting the enemy in the coup de grace state fast as possible. Sometimes his martial arts in terms of grabs are theatrics, but it's a short animation window with the DDT nonetheless. Just, you know, the German suplex takes like a fucking while. That's like a move that takes like 10 seconds off your life. But I would say he's good. He deserves to be A tier, undoubtedly. Helena Harper. I'm trying to remember EX Helena. I don't remember EX Helena all that much. What I might do here is I might make a jump cut, and I'm gonna see what her loadout was, and then I'll come back and explain what I saw. Alrighty, I am back, and once again I don't regret, just a little sidebar, I don't regret putting EX Ada over regular, because, you know, despite the fact that the machine guns that they both have are rather subpar, the thing is that this Ada has more crowd control options with grenades as opposed to stupid arrows. You know, you gotta fling them, and I just hate the crossbow. I really do. It sucks. It sucks. But I would say, based on what I seen with Helena having the sexy RPD outfit, she is D tier. And the reason is, I think it just comes paramount that when someone has just a base sniper rifle in Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries, that's really, really bad. Like, you can only deal with long range targets, and you can't set them up for coup de grace or doing melee moves, and that's critical to keeping time on the clock and killing normal enemies as fast as possible. She only has, from what I've seen, a sniper rifle, and she has the baton. She probably has a little bit more to her kits in terms of healing and stuff like that, but overall, that's not good. That's really not good. That would make her default go over her EX costume by a landslide. And speaking of which, I have to pick, because honestly, default Helena is not that hot either in terms of what she has. With the loadout, she has the handgun, the picador, I remember that correctly, and she also has the shotgun. I remember the things that Helena could do with her Hydra, such as do barrel rolls and you know, waste time, and it's not a lot of like hard damage to the enemy with her shotgun, so it's not really too great. You'll mostly be using the picador to set up combos and take seconds off the enemy's health. And I think Helena's melee is not that great either, guys. Like, I talked about Jake's melee being for theatrics, but it feels like her front attack where she does 3 Hurricanranas in a row, it takes up way too much time, and you'll mostly be doing her elbow drop like fucking The Rock from Black Adam, but I don't like her melee moves because they feel so exaggerated, they take so long. Because of the picador, she's slightly better, but I wouldn't put her above anything but a C tier. So I noticed this video is like almost 20 minutes long, so I'm gonna go faster. Pirate Leon would be, well, he has a machine gun, so that's good. He has a sniper rifle, that's good. He has a machine gun with a bayonet at the end, so he can slice up enemies from a good portion. Like he can slice them up from a good deal of distance, and that's really great. And he could just take them out, no problem. They'll get on their knees, he'll do the forward bayonet strike, and that just saves so much time. It makes his melee options a little bit stronger, but he doesn't have a real solid boss killer, which is the only problem. Like, just a bold action is not enough, and I can't say he's stronger than the A tiers, so I will put him in B. Next is Base Leon, and you know where he's going, C tier. I'm so tired of when they do Mercenaries renditions with Leon and they constantly give his default handgun and shotgun. That's it. This is not cool. Like, this is not great. Like, his handgun's okay, like, right? But him just being stuck with the shotgun and nothing that really is deemed as a boss killer kind of hurts him. Now, Leon is enhanced in this game versus his rendition in RE6 because he has 2 wing shooters and he could do all these crazy moves with them, but ultimately I've been dealing with whoppers, you know, grabbing me through that, so it's only so much you can do. It's just a little bit of theatric here or there, that's it. But it's good for crowd control, I guess, and it's not the worst in the world compared to the other 2 in the D tier list. But I'm gonna put him in D tier because, I mean, I'm gonna put him in C tier, my bad, because he just isn't an all-arounder in terms of his abilities and stuff like that. His melee moves and roundhouse kicks, they're okay. Coup de grace, okay, you know, big giant roundhouse kick for like 7 seconds. But I am just not a fan of this constant pistol and shotgun loadout that really doesn't ascend compared to the other characters in B, A, or S. Let's see, we got Piers Nevins, and I think he has the shitty submachine gun and also the sniper rifle, which you have to roll cancel to reload each time because it takes forever to reload that thing manually. I'm gonna say Piers is C tier. I'm sorry, I don't think he does. He's worse. Default Piers is worse than Racer Piers because while that sniper rifle does a lot of damage, it has a lot of recoil and it has a lot of reloading time, and his base submachine gun, you know, while Racer Piers has the ammo box, you know, Default Piers is not good either with it. At least you could say Racer Piers has a submachine gun, you know, and he also has the semi-automatic sniper rifle, so he's not stuck to the sniper rifle shenanigans that baseline Piers deals with recoil, reloading, etc. So he's a worse rendition of Piers. Melee options are the same, etc. So you know Shuri, you know where she's going. You know where Shuri's going. Baseline Shuri is A tier because she has the little Rafika pistol that she has. You know, might be something else, but I know it quick fires. And then I'm trying to think what else she has. I freaking forget. Is it a machine gun or is it the stun rod? I don't know, but you'll mostly be using the handgun for setups which is grabbing the enemies and doing the melee smack on them for the timer to keep the timer up. So she'll be a setup character mostly with that pistol, and that kind of saves her in the long run. But I wouldn't say, now the other ones, they have like some decent boss killing options, and Shuri like really doesn't have too many, but I'm trying to think, did they give her a sniper rifle? Not like they give you a sniper rifle, everyone a sniper rifle, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just know that in terms of crowd control, you do just have that baton. It's useful, you know what I mean, but it's not the greatest in the world, honestly. And you know, for the big giant sub bosses, she might be at a disadvantage, which you might have to put down mines, grenades, etc., you know what I mean. So I would put her at A tier just because Shuri's melee and setups alone are just faster. She's really quick. She's like a cat on fucking skin meat, and it's just like all of her setups are fast, efficient. You know, she has Leon's baseline roundhouse kick, which is good, you know what I mean. Very good stuff, very quick coup de grace. You know, I think I'm gonna go for the upset here. I'm actually going to pull default Shuri and EX Shuri into the S rank tier, even though it's, you know, EX Shuri, it's absolutely fucking weird they tried to make a 26-year-old wear like her 12-year-old clothes yet again. Either way, the thing that puts these two characters, you know, or the costume and the costume variant in S tier is just due to the setups. Like Shuri's setups are very, very, very simple, very easy. I can S rank them no problem, like no tomorrow. It's just like, you know, very, very basic muscle memory when getting all of that right, and she can deal with a lot of shit. EX Shuri has a lot more crowd control options with that shotgun that can blast people in half, you know what I mean. And she has the bear commander, so that's for setups, so you could get it easy, like you could jump on someone like a cat on skinned meat and just do the EX kick, you know what I mean, and you'll be able to get that no problem. And then she has the bear commander with the underscope grenade launcher that can also blow people the fuck up if they're in the way with the grenade shells. So you can use that against like sub bosses to say, hey, get off me, I'm dealing with something, get the hell off me, I need you out of the way pronto. So I would say this is the end of my list. Like both Shuris are awesome. They do a good job. Chris, you know, default Chris is a god, and Carla is amazing in Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries. So tell me what you think. Maybe your list will vastly differ from mine in the comment section below. Be sure to, you know, I guess I'm gonna put the tier maker in the little description below, so you guys can click on it and do your own list and explain why, you know, you made your choices and selections. If you were a hardcore Resident Evil 6 veteran in Mercenaries mode, I would love to hear from you. Once again, you know, this was fun to do. Comment below, let me know how you felt about the video, and once again, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.